What a great way to start my day. Whoops, sorry, I'm running off. Yeah, anyway, so that song is called Fluidity. Hello, Jessica. I know there's a couple of people here, but I only know if you're here if you make a comment, then I'm able to see somebody. And when I say this, oops, sorry, I gotta keep myself back. Yesterday I did 3 lives. What I've come to the understanding within myself, I'm going to be coming on here as often as I feel like. It could be 1 time, it could be 20 times in a day. I'm keeping this energy that's happening going and flowing and not pulling back or holding back. So last night during my live, this song unfolded, and it's been in my head. I feel like I can hear it, and might take me a couple of to get back into it, but let's see where it takes us. I'm going to pull back from that for a bit because it's just not quite there yet. So I'm going to play another one. This one started a couple days ago. It's called Charmony. Here we go. Good morning. Yeah, it's called Charmony. And to share this with you, last week, was it last week that Sology will be doing their lives online through mainstream social media. They're switching over to sologynetwork.com. Yeah, we have our own network now, everybody, in case you're not aware. So all the lives that will be live streamed from there. And so I am part of the Sology family, of course. That's just given within my soul. But I'm also one of the founding members. There's over 333 of us. When Todd put this out on March the 10th, it was for 2 weeks until the 24th. And it'd be 111 per year for your entire life. I'm a founding member. And now, what he did do on the 24th, he extended it until the 26th, which was Sunday night. And now it's up to 144. But that's, I'm going to be creating my own channel over there as well. I'm going to be staying on the main platform for the time being. But I'm going to be working on both platforms. So go check out the website. Just put sologynetwork.com. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to be creating my own channel over there, and I'm just doing what I do here at the same time. So this could be it. Let's see what happens. Meaning the new song. That's a new one that started last night. So if you go back to the live video number 3, which I did last night, I believe it was the first one I did. You can see how it unfolded, and that's what I love about what I get to do, because it's a feeling that I get when I do something, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? And then I stay with that energy and I play with that until it unfolds. And what I used to do before was I would literally completely ignore it. Not, I'm going to take that back. Sorry, I'll take that back. I never did completely ignore it. I figured, okay, I'll do that one later. That isn't how it really works. Not at all. When something comes to us, we need to take action immediately, whatever that is. For those who write poetry, for those who write drawing or making codes, you guys understand there's an energy that comes in the moment that you just got to stay with that energy and work with that energy and see what unfolds. If we don't, it's not saying it won't come back, but it's not going to come back the same way it did. And what I'm finding for myself, and I'm consciously really aware of this now, especially in the last, well, so much has happened since Soulful Fest last year in August 2022. You know, I'm always getting constantly downloads and information within my soul of what I'm to do, how I'm to do it. And I just love, you know, because it's magical. So I'm going to my music store today to trade in my current foot pedal because it's way too big, and getting a Boss foot pedal. So I'm going into town. Right now we have a lot of soul family that are trying to, not trying to, I take that back. We have a lot of soul family that are struggling right now. And, you know, when I say this, is that I know one sister has been in the psychiatric ward at a hospital for over 2 weeks now. When I say this, that we keep on trying to operate on other people's levels instead of operating and coming from our own inner levels within our true self. And when we do that, we get caught up and we keep on losing it slightly, a little bit more in that. And there's this lady who posted something a couple of days ago, and I came across it, and I went, oh shit, right? And I could feel it, like it's not one of these, wow, poor beast. No, she's wanting to get through whatever it is that she's gone through. So I reached out to her privately, ended up referring her to a very close friend of mine. I know a lot of people, and it really amazes me. And so she said, my first friend said, okay, there's things I can't do yet, so I'm going to suggest these people, which we both know mutually. So I reached out to them and connected, and she was there the same day. Like it's amazing how it really works. And so yesterday morning I went to check in on her, and then I said, can I call you? She goes, it has to be short. I said, yep, that's fine. So I called her, and we need to send out prayers and pay attention to things that come up on our timelines, especially us in the Facebook land. And that we pay attention when something comes across and we see a sister or brother that are struggling. Don't hold back if you're able to help them in some way, shape, or form. Doesn't mean you personally have to help them, but you may connect them with somebody else. Hello, Libby. And, you know, I said, look, can I call you later? Because I got her calmed down where she started breathing back into herself because she's so not disconnected, but she's so up here trying to do. And we're going back to this again. And when I was talking to her, I said, look, I'm going to ask you to do something. I want you to hear me. I want you to breathe and breathe into your heart. And we just did that a few times, and you could just feel her energy calming down those anxieties, that scrambled thing that happens in the brain. And so we were going to chat later, and then she sent me a message saying, she goes, I'm going to the hospital. I don't know when I'm going to be out. So my heart sunk. And not in a bad way, it's just, I feel, it's the same thing with this other lady I know who's in the psychiatric ward, is I think there's a place for it to stop with the outside craziness. And I can't wait to connect with her again, because when I say this, that we are here for each other. If I am not able to help somebody, I know somebody that may be able to help. You know, what I do, this is mine. This is how I get to help out everybody. And none of us are broken, but there's this, I'm going to say the word ascension that's been happening. And we're caught up in what we used to do to what we're being guided to do. And we're also bouncing from this world to this world. And that's when we get, that's where the craziness is. I feel it is. I know for myself. And I've been going through that myself. But for me is, I'm very proud of myself for being able to isolate myself so I can go through this by myself. But the one thing I get to do is pick up my guitar and, you know, play. And that's where I come on here. A lot of you guys didn't even know what I was actually going through, because I didn't want to share at that time. And that was just this year. And this is my safe place for me to be. And when I'm in this place here, I get information, and it's just, when I was talking about Todd and Soulology, is the progression that it just, I could feel this energy, and so I'm choosing to step into it. And I don't care about what somebody over there thinks. I'm not going to share everything who I am, because over there it may not be safe. Here it is safe for me. And that's what I'm so grateful for Facebook. Not everybody's going to resonate with what I say and how I express myself, and I know that. I don't expect them to understand, but they can also appreciate and you know, respect me for where I'm at, because I'm not trying to push my beliefs onto anybody. I'm just going to show up and be myself. And there's one thing I posted yesterday or the day before about how and I spoke about this last night, I think, that when because we are nothing but bright lights. And we figure because we are a bright light, so we have to be in that place all the time. We don't have to be in that place all the time. There's some days when we just want to be quiet. We don't want to talk to anybody. And I get to do that because I don't have children. Those who have children, it's a whole new ball game for them. But it's, I don't know. Where was I going? It's gone. But, oh, I know where. Last night, this song here is for anyone who needs it. It's called The Journey of Life, which is actually the circle of life. So here we go. That song is called The Journey of Life. It's going to be also the Circle of Life. This song was channeled. Not only that, I was getting downloads. I didn't have the terminology back then that I now have, with the understanding I now have. A friend of mine, she was a motorcycle friend, and I was one of the organizers of the toy run in Nanaimo back then. And after the run was done, we were at the Cassidy pub, and we were the last people to leave, and we were talking, and their names are Gordy and Judy Cowles. And so I mentioned to them then that I'm in counseling, and Judy looked at me, she goes, "Not you." I said, "Yeah, me. Great facade, eh? You think I'm perfectly fine, but inside I'm struggling." And so they ended up coming back to my house for coffee, and we had amazing conversations, real conversations, not the superficial da-da-da-da-da. And then I was over at their house a few weeks later, whatever it was, and I said to Judy, because they referred to a psychiatrist, and I found out it was a male, and I could feel. I said to her, "Do you feel comfortable with him?" And she goes, and Gordy said, "It's okay to speak. It's okay. You can say what you feel." And she goes, "No," with that little voice, the little girl's voice that never had a voice. And I said, "Look, I could talk to my counselor and see if I can get you in there. Would that be okay?" She said yes. So I went to my counselor, spoke to her, and she has to call me. I said, "No, I understand that. She knows that too." And she said, "No, tell her to call now." I said, "Okay." So I got hold of Judy and told her. And recap something, Judy struggled every day to live. She struggled. Many times, like Gordy never knew if he was going to go home to find her dead or alive. He never knew. And shortly after that, Gordy came home. He knew something, and he was traveling with a co-worker, and they start looking for her, and then they heard her. They went over and they found her. She lived about 7 hours afterwards. But when Gordy found her, and she goes, "Help me," and Gordy says, "It's too late." I'm proud of myself for being able to see her for her. Not this pretending I have to be this, these facades that we have to put on for other people. I wish she was able to call my counselor, because she might be still here today. I don't know. But at least it would have been a beginning. And Gordy called me to inform me, because I come home from work and my roommate Barry says, "There's a message on the phone for you." And he says, "I need to tell you before you listen that it's not good about Judy." I said, "Oh, okay." So I was a bit prepared, and I heard, and so I called up Gordy, and we talked. I asked him how, and I don't share with many people what I know. But what's really important that I got to take her beautiful energy. In fact, the bottom line is this: it was the only song that has ever had where I got that kind of a download. I knew it happened. I wake up in the morning at peace, afternoon at peace. Oh, I would like to clarify something. The next day when I was at work, I had this feeling, which turned into a thought, of course, that I wanted to channel a song for her. And I went home and I was telling Barry this, and he asked me one very clear question. He said, "Did you think it, or did you actually feel it first?" And I sat with that and I felt it. Because exactly. And that's the thing. Sometimes we think, but the truth is we're feeling, and then it becomes a thought. And sometimes we don't make that connection. And that's when I start getting the downloads of every little piece that you just heard. I knew exactly where my left hand went, what my right hand did. I knew everything. And I had called up Gordy before, as I was channeling the song, and I said, "This is what's happening. If I get this done before her memorial service, may I play it there?" He goes, "Absolutely." And the night before her service, I'm working with the energy and stuff, and I come down, and Barry said to me, "How you doing?" And I said, "I'm stuck. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go." I don't know exactly the words that Barry said, but he said something to me. I went to the bathroom, and boom, yes. And I finished it off that night. And the next morning, to be quite honest, I played it once through and then at her service. Whoops, sorry for the screeching there. Yeah, so I don't tell this story very often, but I feel that we have a lot of soul family that are struggling because they're trying to bounce from doing what society thinks you should think, act, behave, and all that, instead of honoring your own feelings. And it's like, it's I know for myself that I'm tired of minimizing how I feel and catering to other people's needs before my own. Being nicey. And this is what I find quite hilarious too, is that there's people in our community that put on a facade of everything's peachy keen, and their personal lives are fucking chaotic. And they don't do the work that's needed to break that cycle. We are who we are, but we can't become what other people want us to be. And for me, I want people that are around me that are willing, and their heart and their soul's desire to understand themselves, to grow and expand and settling into who they truly are. Not this pretense that we have to be what society, I could say the 3D world. When I say society, that's what I mean, the 3D world. And I always will be nice to people. That doesn't mean that I have to tolerate or be around them for the sake of their feelings or whatever their shit is. I don't want to be around shit. I want to surround myself with people who speak and take responsibility for themselves, speak about their journey to what they've gone through. I'll speak honestly about my journey, what I've gone through, where I'm at, because I keep on expanding because I want to be not little bit whole and complete. I want to be 100% whole and complete. I want to be exactly who I am. And that's why my music has been shifting, because I'm stepping in, stepping in, stepping in. And this is coming to me, and this, actually they're showing me this, that, everybody thinks everything's just, I'll put hot, upbeat stuff, positive stuff. I'll be positive, then everything's going to be positive. Fuck that. That's bullshit. That is pure bullshit. And again, going back to the facade, pretend I'll be a positive person here online, but my personal life is chaotic. My how I deal and cope with things is chaotic. I had somebody recently, because I tell people I don't talk. I don't want to have conversations about, I just don't want to have any. That's just where I'm at. And I had this one person, I set a boundary, and they kept on crossing. And what happens when people, and because I've reflected on this within myself, and I said to this person, well, I just finished doing a live. And because the mistake I made was I answered the phone. That was my first mistake, because I just finished doing a live, and I know when I finish doing a live, I just don't want to talk to people. And I told this person, I said, look, I just finished doing a live. Oh, da. And they kept on going. And I then they went on to something else, and I kept on trying to say, like I'm not talking. They could not seem to comprehend that I don't want to talk. And I know this person doesn't even see it yet, and it's like, what's really important is no matter if they see it or not, it's that I see it for what it is. And I was the next day we did an interview, and this person chose not to put it out, because I even said to them after, not right after, but I could feel their energy was like, because they want everything in a fucking box. We're going to do this. I don't operate that way. I can adjust a little bit, absolutely. And I could tell after we record, because this person records, she doesn't do anything live. Everything's boxed in where it's got to be perfect. And that's their choice. And but I could feel that person's energy, like I could just feel it. And then they said something, there was a message back and forth, and I said, look, if you don't feel that you want to put this out, don't worry about it. But see, I'm not attached to it. And sure enough, they didn't, because I knew. I could feel it. They said, well, she told me she didn't want it. I never said I didn't want it. It's you that didn't want it, and I just opened that avenue for you. So you didn't feel that you had to, because you wanted to edit this, edit that. Fill your fucking boots. I don't edit. I edit in the moment, just like when I went to say something, I went, no, I take that back. And, this person just, this is the thing about certain people, and that's what I have grown to understand within our own amazing community, is this is Facebook land. We can present ourselves to be anything we want to. If you want to put on a facade that I put only positive things out on Facebook, okay, that's Facebook, but what about your personal life? Are you doing things for yourself, or you're trying to be something for others, or that you think if you do this, everything will be fine? And I had the highest compliment, because when I went to Soulful Fest last year, and just for those who are new to me, that's the first time in 32 years I did anything for myself. Gone anywhere, and Spirit made sure it happened. because Spirit knew I needed to be there. It was just a few days before I left that I realized it was 32 years. And all of a sudden, that little fear creeped in like, oh shit, you're going to be around people. And I felt it was going to be okay. I felt that. I had the most amazing, I was there at Soulful, 5 days, 6 days, something like that, because we left, but there was a whole 24 hours that got added on by the time we arrived. We were one of many that had some situations happen to get there. But here's the thing is this. Is I've never experienced by so many people that were there where there was just respect. Nobody invaded my space. They'd come over, they would say hi. They didn't know if it was okay to say hi, or of course it's always okay to say hi. And then as I sort of settled in and you know, hanging around with a few different people, not much, because I just didn't want to socialize, right? And because we're all at different levels. I'm going to be quite honest, I lost where I was going. That happens. Sorry for that. I got my mic so high that it screeched when I turn my head a certain way. But we are not alone. Yeah, this is what's coming to me now. That, you know, if anybody here needs help, reach out to me. You don't have to be alone. The one thing that I cannot do, and I'm being very honest, I will help you get unstuck if you're wanting to get unstuck. But if you want to keep doing that craziness and stay in that's difficult for me, because I want to help you. But do you want to truly help yourself? I think, and deeper down, yes, we do. But sometimes we need to let go of that stuff, because I've been there in that going around, 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 around. I know that. I know that. The biggest thing that I know with our own journeys is, even with this lady, because I won't say her name publicly, out of respect for her privacy, that I know in my conversation with her, my brief conversation with her yesterday, her biggest thing was this: she stopped breathing into her heart. And that's what I got her to do. And when I did that, and she was paying attention, she was focused on her breath going into her heart, you could just feel her starting to calm down, and her voice changed. And I reminded her consciously of what's happening for her. And she had 2 appointments. And then she let me know that she's going to the hospital. And if it needs to be that you feel that's a place you need to go, bravo. Just don't forget, you have a soul family out here that are holding space for you, that you get back into your body, get back into your heart. Because that is who you are. Don't think about, well, this or that. That doesn't matter. Just stay and breathe, breathe, breathe into your heart slowly, not holding it, just doing it, paying attention to as you breathe into your heart. Breathe in, then you breathe out. Pay attention to every single moment that you're doing that. And I can assure you, after 3 times of breathing in And then breathing out. And you're focused on your heart space that you will come back in. You'll feel a calmer to a calmness. Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to play one of my meditation songs slash album, which is on my website, which is soulfulguitarist.com. This one here is called Soulful Connection. Yeah, here we go. That's on an album by itself. It's on my first album, Me, Myself, and I, for however many minutes. But I went back in the studio in 2021, August of 2021, and I recorded this as an album by itself. So it's 53 minutes and 34 seconds long. That one, it's called Soulful Connection. That's the title of the song, and it's the title of the album. Is the one thing that's coming to me is that be consciously aware that how we step back into the 3D world to our, our inner self, because that's more important. That to me is more true, is the inner self, inner true self. And it's getting harder to go back into that other place when we're there. It pulls us back down. We don't feel like ourselves. And I know this particular two women that I know personally that are in the psychiatric ward because they're struggling trying to do what's expected of them instead of honoring themselves. And the more that we honor ourselves within ourselves, don't worry about hurting other people, because look what we're doing to ourselves. Look what we do to ourselves by trying to be this and that for other people. And that's like, I'm just speaking from my own experience, it's like these people will try to pull us down because when we step into when we are who we truly are, this incredible bright being, and they go, oh, I'm going to dim your light, right? And, they try to make my life miserable or difficult. And I've had some people do that. So much that even one time I put my music away for 13 years. Yep. Yeah. Because I had this person who was supposed to be supporting me in my entrepreneurship, and her job was to support me, however, and I reached out to her for many, many times, and she wouldn't help me. Bottom line, help me. And she pulled the plug on a financial program I was on. I had no warning at all. I was supposed to be on it for a year, and she managed to pull it in 6 months. And it was me going around the world with my music. That's what I was doing, a program for that. And I cannot and I will not allow anybody in and around me to tell me, well, you should play this way, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. Shouldn't? I could not. I could, but the word should is a disempowering word. The word could. If you take the word should and replace it with could, well, yeah, I could have, but I choose not to. I feel that this is what I need to say, or just like now, I don't talk about this stuff very often online. I'm not saying this to bring people down. I'm just saying I have all kinds of stories, but they are stories. They are events and things that have happened to bring me to this very place that I'm at now. And I'm so grateful for this amazing community that I'm a part of, and I've connected with so many people around the world. Around the world. And I'm so grateful for internet, because with internet there's no limitations. We put the limitations on ourselves. So this is where we get, to sorry, but I lost it again. It happens, and because other thoughts are coming in, and then so there we go. And that's a thinking brain for you. It will just mess you up. There we go. I got somebody on here from Switzerland to give you an idea. And this is what I love about this land, of Facebook land, okay? is that, and you know, I do have a YouTube channel as well, everybody, just so you guys know. I'm running on 8 different platforms right now. I'm so grateful for a couple of groups that were generous enough to allow me to be on admin so I could go live in their group. I'm going to be hitting up other people. If you yourself have a group and you want me to come live in your group, it's possible. Easy. And you know, because I use Restream, and I want to, you know, come on here as often as possible. Like right now with I'm using Restream as my platform, and I'm able to go live on 8 different places at once. If I keep on expanding the way I'm expanding, I will add and upgrade again, and so I'm able to do more. And or what could happen is I'll spread it out. I don't know. So let's see where we go. I need to, before I go here, because I do need to go into town. Let's see where we go. It's interesting to play that. It's interesting I played that song because it's called Soul's Journey. How appropriate is that? While I was playing, they showed me what I was trying. One of the times I lost my thoughts is I was talking about people with the facade that they put on online, and there's a lady who's known me for, God, 3 years. Her name is Dahlia Flores, and she was the first person that I met when I arrived on the stage. Quite honestly, that's where we ended up, at the stage of in the middle of the night. Not middle of the night, but it was pitch black out. And Dahlia was the first person I saw, and we didn't talk much. We didn't need to talk. That was a beautiful part. And I was doing a live afterwards meeting, no longer at Soulful Fest. I don't know where it was. And I was, of course, I was online here. And she paid me the highest compliment ever. She says, Ernie is exactly the same in person as she is online. That was the highest compliment I could have ever received. And, especially from somebody who's known me this long, being a part of this community. And that's the thing is we can tell, we can feel, we can sense when people aren't being their true authentic self. We know sometimes we a little guarded, absolutely. But where I'm most comfortable is when I speak from my heart, and that's what my guitar does. It allows me to speak from my heart, from my soul, every single time. And a beautiful brother, I believe it was Andrew, but I could be wrong. Yesterday somebody said something about, they're like, there's no separation from me and the guitar. I said, no, because when I say this is, when I speak from my heart, from my soul, it is just that. What's beautiful about my guitar, she's been my vehicle to express so much at such a deep level without using words. And I get to feel that. I get to immerse myself in that energy. This beautiful tool, my looper, I just upgraded her. I spent a lot of money recently. Again, stressing out a little bit, but I know there's some money coming in. I'm getting a small inheritance, and so it's any day now that I'll be receiving. So be able to pay off all my debts. But what I did a month ago, I upgraded. I have the same unit. It's a Boss RC505, but I have the Mark II, which is the new version. So if you guys have noticed that my sound is better now than it was a month ago, that's why. I'm always working on my sound to the best of my ability. I also bought some foot pedals here, and I'm changing my volume pedal today. This thing is so big and bulky, it's cumbersome. So I'm going to exchange that or trade this in to get a Boss one. What was I going to say? So chances are I'll be back later in that. And I would personally, I love spending time here playing. And I'm not going to, my mind and thinking about what somebody else thinks, I really don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to come on here as often as I feel like and play as long as I feel like it. I will not put any limitations on myself anymore. And and that's where the monkey mind comes in, that can come in and cause us some havoc. Is, oh, well, maybe I'm not getting that many people. Well, it doesn't matter how many people. And this is what spiritual me. It doesn't matter how many people. But every song I play that comes into my field while I'm playing, sharing, being here, is meant for a reason. It could be for you. It could be for somebody else that may watch it later. I don't know. And I'm so grateful to what's happening? I read somebody's comment, it just threw me, and it's true. Is I'm living in the now moment, and because I know whoever's here said that, they said must move now, Ernestine, and absolutely, and that's the thing is what I'm realizing is I'm doing now everything just what I feel like doing. If I feel like coming on here spending 2 hours with you, if I come on here and I do 6 videos a day, so be it. So be it. This is my soul that I get to come on here, share with you guys the vibration, and it's raised my own vibration every time I come on here. It's just doing this. I'm getting like, as you guys know, most of you guys know, if you don't know, like things happen in the moment. It's like when a new song is coming in, just like last night, you start coming in, and I didn't want to hold off because if I held off, it wouldn't have unfolded at that time or later. Not the same way it was happening in that moment. And I'm so grateful that I'm taking that time now. So when something happens, you guys get to come on the ride with me. I'm not going to try to present something where I'm perfect at what I do. Fuck, I'm getting better at what I do. Well, what is perfect is where it comes from within me. That feeling is just amazing. Do I know what the hell I'm doing? The word is no, I have no idea. I have none. I'm just trusting everything that I get to do, and it's just stepping in. And where you guys get to help me to bring other people into this amazing world that I get to come and share with you all is you guys share what I do with your friends and family and your soul family or groups. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have a fantastic day coming here right first thing in the morning. Because I used to do this last year. We get up in the morning. I had this routine: get up in the morning, have a shower, come in here, play for however long, then come back in later. And I stopped doing that because I thought I had to change it. No, I don't have to change. Fuck all. So there we go. Anyway, love you all. Hopefully, I'll see you guys later. If not, I'll see you, each one of you guys, whenever the next time may be. And I'm so grateful for this platform where I get to come on here and just speak and share my heart and soul. And yeah, on that note, blessings, everybody. I will see you soon. Okay, oops, sorry about that. Okay, bye.